Welcome everyone to the Talk to Me United podcast, the podcast about Manchester United tactics. My name is Andy, and opposite side of the screen is Ali. Manchester United 3, Sooners 2. United in the black kits running it back and making the Emirates a dance floor again. Let's go. So it's 2 out of 2 for Carrick. We will break down the goals, looking at Carrick's flexibility of his system, looking over the stats as
10?
always, and
Okay.
looking ahead at our first true test against Fulham. Ali, what are your thoughts after Sunday's afternoon match?
Listen, 3 points, pocketed. Man like Maguire, sunning Gabriel. You see that? Get off me, bruv. My God. 3 points, 3 goals. Arsenal, oh, we're going to better Chelsea's defensive record. Bruv, enter Manchester United Football Club. Listen, so I'm going to break it down. 3 things: courage, bravery, and winning mentality. That's what I saw. Manchester United heritage. I feel like those were the 3 principles that we applied throughout the game. What's incredible is the difference in mentality for that game, because the courage that we had to play our football and to score those, 2 of those incredible goals, that doesn't happen if you're like on a leash, like Arsenal were. That's how I saw Arsenal. It's very just, they're always trying to play the percentages, right? And that's how, they're top of the league. So if that's how they want to go about their business, they can do that. Them man were nervous. So nervous, man. Alan Dorgu and Mainu, what a performance. So like Kobe, right? Kobe, he did a couple of everyone's always like, oh, he's like nice turn, press resistant, all these things. I saw work rate, and I saw threading balls in with courage and bravery. We saw a different type of performance from Mainu, right? I think Dorgu and Ahmad, their work rate is incredible, right? And we touched on this in the last episode, which was they are like benefiting from having experienced playing as wingbacks, because they are working twice as hard, right, to come back and, really tighten up United's back line. But the reason why I say they're doing 2 jobs is because they come in and they help out Casemiro and Kobe, So it's either they help out the 2 in midfield or they help out the 4 at the back. So I great to see that it just wasn't like a one-off in the derby. Yeah, man, Carrick's just, I think he's just gone back to the principles, and, it worked. We played away, we played at home against 2 great oppositions that are first and second, and, we got maximum points. But I love to see the work rate. I think the biggest thing is, it's going to be the low block, but
Tell me about
we
it.
got the 3 points, man.
They haven't won the
At the
league in 20
Emirates.
years. They're
Theo Walcott
they're
and them man
mediocre from
talking
the
about
time of the 20
Manchester
years.
United.
What is it?
Are
I
you
don't think
dumb?
they have
Are
not won a
you
league cup,
dumb?
but they've won like
They
a
can't even
hand,
beat
like 2 or 3
26 United,
FA
man.
Cups in that time span.
Shout out to these guys.
Right?
Honestly, some of these Arsenal fans are deluded.
They're the
It's
most
quite
fan
so
base
funny
out
how
there.
Theo Walcott, the
Right? They're
most he's ever
acting like
won,
just
is the
because
FA
they're
Cup.
good.
That's his highest
You see, this is
achievement
why I
ever.
keep telling Arsenal fans,
Come in,
they
you trying to
lack
chat to away
the
United?
mental,
Shut up,
the
man.
mentality. They don't have winners on that team. I always say that Arteta has really messed up the plan. Instead of going for the league in the first 2 years, after they were facing relegation 4 seasons ago, getting dumped by Brentford, etc., opening night and stuff, we thought they were going to get relegated for Bants. Look,
Yeah, probably
that
4,
first 2
5, yeah.
seasons, yes, the mentality changed. Yes, they went and got better players. But you know what? They should have not focused on the league and go after the Europa League, FA Cup, League Cup to build that winning championship. And then you bring on players and build that winning culture. They don't know what it feels like to win. And it's like, I don't even think they have the mental capacity to be, cup finals for the rest of the season, or how many ever games left they have to play. Like, I don't think they have that mentality to do it. And it just shows of like how many of the teams they come in, and yes, and hopefully this is the last year of the robotic play of you're in this certain position, the Arteta, Klopp, Pep way. If you have to be in a certain position. If you go out of that position or where I want you to be on the pitch, it's a violation. You're doing laps at the next round of practice. I feel like that's how it is with Arsenal's style of play. Right.
Yeah, with Arsenal, I don't think that's Klopp. I don't think that's Klopp.
Mhm.
I think Klopp Like there's intensity, there's a little bit of freedom in positions. Yeah, you have your two wingers that have to be in those positions. But when they used to cross in, those wingers used to be in the box. Mane and Salah, we
Right.
already know what they did. They scored so many goals. Pep, I can understand, but I think there's a lot more fluidity within their structure with Pep and Klopp, which is why they win. But this Arsenal team is like so fascinating because the first year they were off the shackles. They surprised everyone, right? And yeah, they didn't win it.
Right.
Like
Very
we've
close.
just seen a progression of Arteta saying you have to play it safe, and the over reliance on set pieces is a joke, right? Look, they still might win the league. Like I don't think I think the
Yeah,
media has
yeah.
gone a bit out of proportion. They're still 4 points, the top of the Premier League. They have been playing well, but it's just the mentality. There's a difference in the mentality, and I think I can only tie it down to like the history
Mhm.
of like the club, and Arteta is part of the history of the club. You saw our mentality. Carrick's mentality. He's won leagues, he's won champions, he's won everything, right?
Right.
Carrick said, you know what, these lot at half time, they're weak here. Go and play your football. Go and play your football. And some of the football we played in tight spaces, freedom, like just those two goals came about through incredible intricacy of movement and play, which is what United do. We find a way to win. Talk about play style and this and that, but we don't play like the percentages. We play with
Right.
courage and bravery historically, which is what we saw yesterday, is what we saw, on against City. But like Arsenal, man,
Or
they're
or
just
us,
like
because
because like
we have come back 12 points
Saka,
or more.
Odegaard,
Actually, no, we've come
and
back
like your
12
creative
points
players,
back
like
to
what,
win
like
the league.
Rice, like
So
you're just in your zone.
you never know.
But there's no
But
freedom there. Eze, these are really creative players, but they're playing with a leash, and
right,
it's just man, like he's playing the
we're
percentages,
cooking.
and it's working so far.
Yeah, because
Man, City with Gahey and Semenyo,
because I was just gonna say is
man,
that
Arsenal
I
got to be
want to
worried,
let's
man.
give
If
Ruben
like,
credit about changing the mentality of this team, because this team is not fragile. Because I've said on the pod many times, it's like games that we would lose
I
last year or the year before,
I
they're
think
not losing it, they're
yeah,
drawing it,
yeah.
right?
I
And
understand your
going to
point, but I think it's like
Anfield,
we beat the
beating them
first
at
and the
home,
second
the
best teams
mentality of this
in
team
the
has
Prem
changed. Like this has
playing a
shown
certain way.
consistency
Like
from
if he
the
knows how to
team,
play against a low
maybe
block,
because of Ineos's
right, we can go on
recruitment
a
of the
run. But
players,
let's
you
not.
know.
Yeah, we. I don't
Maybe
think we're
that's it.
targeting the league.
Maybe it's the clean out that Ruben has started. Now Carrick has just instilled a next level. So I feel like this is just building upon the building blocks of the rebuild. You had Ruben come in, set the stage. Now you have Carrick as interim, taking it to the next level. Because I did like what I saw with the players. Because this game we did not do defend and counterattack with vibes and inshallah. We did not do that. We did have a clear plan of what to do to go out and do tight spaces. Like, yes, defend. And when we show the stats, we were in a back five on a positional play. We were a back five. And I'll be honest with you, I still can't figure out of the difference between Carrick, what Carrick is doing differently than Ruben couldn't do in terms of the position of the players and the spacing. Because Carrick has been doing the same formation, whether it be in possession,
No.
we're still three in the back, Casemiro dropping back. When Arsenal has the ball, when City had the ball, we ended up going into a 4-4-2 to a hybrid 5-4-1
Yeah,
sometimes, but in Arsenal it's technically a 5-3-2, right? We did the same thing under Ruben early in the season, but yet we still got cut up by the opposition team. This time we're not getting that, and I just think I don't know if it's because it's a tight spacing and maybe Carrick is doing more of a positional setup to help get the best out of Kobe and Case. And then, like you said in your intro, bringing up the wingers to help them out. So I'm just trying to get a little bit more evidence on what it is, but this is a positive. And then one point before we get dropped back again, let's give you a shout out for calling Patrick Dorhu the next Bale, because now everybody and their moms have been sharing memes and doing stuff about Bale. Let's put it out first that we were here first saying that this is the second coming of Bale. So we were here first. There was no tweets. There was no nothing. I spent most of the time on United Twitter and social media. There was nothing like that before.
Well,
Ollie made that drop last week, and now this week he scores another golazo. Boom! We're seeing all the comparisons. So props to you, Ollie, for
mhm.
he's got that physicality. He's got that physicality. And
Yeah, man. I mean, there was just something about that goal he scored against City.
yeah, because
I've
we are
seen
filming this
Gareth
on
Bale
Tuesday
score that
morning,
so
and
many
Maury
times.
from The Athletic
And
has dropped that he's out for
and
10
you know, he used to
weeks
play
with a
on the
hamstring
wings. You know,
strain tear.
he's got that
It's a grade
pace,
2.
and
I
he's
will
got a
say that
shot,
this,
right? Yeah,
from what
Ballon
I've
d'Or good.
heard, that
Yeah,
Carrick's
he's got the
training sessions have
physicality,
been a little bit
and
more
you know,
intense
I think
than what it
he's
was under Ruben.
it's like
And
Bale's
mind you,
quick
other
when he
than like
runs with
Delit's
the
back
ball, right?
issue,
I don't think Dorgu
United
has
hasn't
that
had like a
exactly.
true
I think
injury
you do need to put him
spell,
into
injury
space just
bug.
yet. Dorgu's so young
Granted,
as well.
we are
I mean,
playing
we have to say
essentially
he's
one
out.
game
He's
a
out for
week with
like
no
a couple of
Europe or no
months.
midweek games, one game a week. We are, you know, people did say that a lot of Ruben's training sessions was more about tactical and where to be positionally than in terms of intensity. But that now that has changed under Carrick, Holland, and Woodgate. So we'll see if this is an issue with other injuries coming up. But let's treat this as a one off. But let's just say
Yeah. Like, I think on that, it's the amount of work that Dorgu did in the Manchester derby. Like I said again, him and Ahmad are playing two positions, right? And I always think like when you have five substitutes, in my opinion, you should ask two of your players to go run like crazy so that they're gassed out at the 60, because you're going to tell them, I'm going to take you off 65 minutes and I want to put fresh legs in. I just think that's a good like tactical move because then it brings intensity, and you're not worried about the players lasting the full 90. But anyway, I think we've been like abusing the amount of running that Dorgu's been doing, and you know Ahmed on the other side is again just the work rate and the intensity. I'm just loving from a defensive standpoint. I think just to go back on your kind of your Ruben point, I think like the biggest difference that I'm noticing is Carrick's, he's probably just been like not giving them
blah
so
blah.
much positional information. And Ruben's like, you need to stay in this structure because this is how, this is my game plan. This is, my system. Whereas I think we're a lot more fluid under Carrick in specific scenarios. So when the players notice triangles in the middle as opposed to like
Hmm.
on the flanks under Ruben, the flanks, and Bumo, Ahmad, Mazraoui, or whoever, yeah, Halal on the right, or whoever on the right, like that was really good on the flanks. Now we're like Mainu's there. That's the other big difference. Kobe Mainu is in this team. He's press resistant, and he plays a more incisive pass than a safe pass. And excuse me, I'm gonna go into that when we show the clips, right? And the other thing, the person that connects all of this in their best position is Bruno. You got number 10 in his position, natural position,
Hmm.
and he's playing like a striker sometimes. But I think Ruben's helped the team understand how to play in a back five, back three. But I think Carrick has just said, okay, let's just simplify this and have a bit more freedom and expression on how you go about things. And the other thing is he's really protecting Casemiro. The difference between Casemiro and Arsenal's midfield, Casemiro's a winner. He's an experienced, seasoned professional. You didn't see that with Rice, Zubimendi, or Odegaard. When they went a goal up, they played worse. They started getting anxious. They didn't know what to do. I've never seen Zubimendi make a pass like that. Right? He's normally like
Hmm.
flawless in that, and that just like kind of festered from the crowd.
He's better.
So yeah, you got to give like that base for Ruben, but I do think there's a couple of differences that Carrick's making, and he is giving the
So
players more freedom.
two
And I
points about
think the
that is
biggest
like
thing is
with
having your players in the
Casemiro,
right position.
since Carrick
Bruno's in
has
the right
become
position,
like
Mainu's in the right
interim and
position,
stuff,
and
he
Ahmad's
hasn't
in
had
the
a
right
yellow
position
card.
right now,
Two
right?
games, no yellow
So
cards.
you know,
And under Ruben, it
and
was like
Dorgu's in
yellow
the right
card almost
position,
every game
right? We all
because
thought
he would just get
wing
dragged
back,
out of
yes, but
position and he has to
I
run
think
back
he's at this
to make it
current time.
yeah.
He's better when he has someone behind him just being like, look, you can go forward. I've got you, instead of having to focus on coming back. So Yeah, you have to give props to Carrick, building off that. He gets exposed. And I think it was match of the day that they did an incredible piece of analysis, and I was just like, and this is what did I say to you when Carrick got in? I was like, I want to see what he does to this midfield, because Carrick is one of the most underrated midfielders, and like underrated like from intelligence, right? Because I think like me and my Arsenal mate, right? We had a conversation a couple of years ago. Who's better, like as a player,
Mhm.
Carrick or Arteta? And he genuinely believed Arteta was a better player. I was like, no chance, man. Arteta, and like
Also, let's give
everyone
props
on the group chat was
to
like, nah,
Holland
Carrick's
because
a better player, right? So I think he's very
a lot of
underrated
Borough
in
fans
like
said that
his football
Carrick was very
IQ.
great
So
of
what
getting the
he's
ball
done is
forward, doing the patterns,
Dorgu
etc.,
and
like
Ahmad
just
come
bringing that
really
fluidity that we were
narrow,
talking about, right?
which
But
means he's
off
not
the
having to cover
ball, out of
space,
possession,
which means he
man
doesn't
marking,
have to
etc., he
make
was kind of
those
off,
yellow
and that kind
card
of led to
challenges.
why Burrow was
And the
exposed
the
and he
difference
couldn't
is
take that team
positionally
forward.
and
So I think
intensity.
Steve Holland
And
has
I think that's the
definitely helped
biggest
that
difference
out.
I've seen.
And I
Obviously, Dorgu's
will
picked up
say
that
this,
injury,
that
but
if
I
Carrick
I love that, man.
gets the job
Yeah.
or doesn't get the job, jury's still out. But I feel that you should at least keep Steve Holland if he wants to stay on the next manager's squad, because I feel like he does have a great sense of out of the possession and just how to build a team out with the tactics, etc. I feel like he's a very good person to have. And, again, as a Ruben fanboy, I always critique this whole, supporting staff of not having like the highest coaching badges. And I think this just shows the difference.
You know, You know what it is? It's we went with Ruben, we went in the complete opposite direction. We were like, this club is not we're not doing anything. We had Ten Hag, we had Steve McLaren. Okay, that's like kind of like a hybrid of like someone European and someone English. Then we went completely, let's just go, this team, they are balling out in the Portuguese league. Let's apply their principles now. And now we've gone back to seasoned understanding the league, man. That's why like Ruben's first year, I was just like, he needs to understand the league. Like even if you watch the Premier, even if you watch all 38 games of Man United, like you watch them
Low
on the TV, it's
block,
not the
yeah.
same. It's when you're watching it live and you're understanding the intensity, you're understanding how important substitutions are. And then he didn't apply that in the second year. Yeah, we were much better, but his in-game substitutions and his lack of flexibility was really poor. Whereas you got Steve Holland, you got
And Spurs.
Woodgate, who's like incredible defender, and he's got an IQ, and you got Carrick, you got people that understand the Premier League. And again, we need to like see what they're gonna do against a low block, because I think that's gonna set the
But
tone
also
for
too,
how
if
we
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 continue
we
this rate,
play,
we can
right?
go
Like
into
for the
third
rest of the
because
season,
Villa's dealing with a midfield
because we
injury.
we played the best two teams,
Kamara's
we
out.
got what, Liverpool and Villa to play. But right, other than that, we're gonna be having them more. We're gonna be well, Spurs, like man, they're fighting relegation. Like we're gonna be dominating the ball against Spurs. Do you get what I'm saying? We're gonna be dominating the ball against all those teams, other than like Liverpool and Villa probably. Oh, that's gonna be the test, man. Like you got the first two, the two teams done. Right? I'm not. I don't care about.
Balls over the
I don't
top,
care
ball
about
split it
what
into the
position.
box,
I just want
overload,
to see what he's going to do against a low
focus on
block.
one
And
side,
I think this
overload,
Fulham game
you know,
is. It's not like high stakes.
wingers
I
down
just
to the
want to
byline,
see what he's going to
cutbacks.
do,
Like I want
because
to see all of that
he's
against.
got the
And
counter
Fulham is
attack
also
and the intensity
in stride
right
too
for
now.
that.
They
Now
found like
let's
a
see when
rhythm
we have to
themselves. So
dominate the
they're
ball.
like,
And Carrick,
I would say
that's
not
his
in
game.
form,
Carrick
but
wants
they're
to
in
be on the
somewhat of a
ball,
form.
right? That's
And
how
that's
he
not
he
like an easy
likes,
test
to set
there
his
as
team
well.
up.
So
One winger,
hopefully that
attacking,
happens.
one like
Yeah,
inside. So, oh man, I'm just buzzing
seriously.
to see that.
Overachieving his XG up in this biatch.
Yeah, we got a Mark Harry Wilson. Got a Mark Harry Wilson out the game. He's always had a good strike on him. Like I've always realized that, and I'm always just like, why is he always a substitute coming on? And now he's hit a run of form, and he's starting to play really well. I'm telling you, that second half against Arsenal, the way we came out in the second half, oh my god, like we were just dominating the ball. What was just even more incredible was when we went, like when they equalized. No. So when we went a
And the funny
goal up, but when it's
and
three
the funny
two,
part is about the whole thing?
Arsenal had
He
nothing. I
rotated the
was
squad
shook.
against
I was
Inter
so
midweek.
shocked, right? Because I think I heard the commentators
Most
say
of the
like
players were rested,
there are Arsenal players
and they
on
still were gassed.
the floor. I'm like, it's 3-2. You still got 7 minutes of added time, right?
Mhm.
that's not Man City aren't doing that. Man City are like, we are going to continue to play the way we are. Liverpool are going to be like, we're going to go for it. There's just such a like fragility to this Arsenal mentality, and it's like, and listen, they got it, I don't even think it was like a fatigue issue. It was a mental issue, right? Because it's just like they, I was just he made 4 substitutes. They're talking about, I'm talking about their squad depth. I'm like, these lot have got 2 great position, 2 great players in every position. You can have 5 great players in every position, but if you are just constricted to a zone and you're relying on set pieces, you're going to struggle, right? I actually think, I texted my mate this, I was like, Wanyeri would have completely
Mhm.
changed the mood of that team and like the mentality. Wanyeri is a player, you give him the ball, he's gonna try and make something happen in terms of an incisive pass. And I think Arteta's like, yo, relax, right? I have Odegaard, who I'm
And
gonna
just think about
control.
it. Just think about it. We played
Eze,
Arsenal
like
twice.
he's kind of, I think Eze,
It's
if he plays with
3-3.
freedom,
You know, we
he can
we split
unlock
the
the
seat
United defense the
the
same
reverse
way
fixture to
Wanyeri can.
split for the
But
season.
there's a
But
reason
let's
why
be
Eze's
real.
not starting. It's because
2
Eze's like,
goals
okay,
were a
my
foul on
last
the
resort.
goalkeeper and 1,
Oh, you know,
what's it
yeah, it's
called?
just
Own goal.
Arsenal, man.
They
They're
have
just playing
nothing
the
from
percentages. But
open
when they
play.
went 3-2 down, that
They
was
r
poor. That was,
Gyökeres,
we
I don't know
were
what's
passing
going
the
on
ball
with
like it was
him,
nothing, man.
but
It
this
was
is why I didn't want a
so good to see.
Coventry City reject to be a striker at Manchester United, and it's quite showing because, I think he's like 0 for 11 in goals, like open play goals. He scored like a couple of penalty kicks, but let's be real, he's from open play. And dude, that last ball when he got behind and fouled Martinez and stuff, I've seen some tweets and stuff about like he turned a defender because it was like a defender type of clearance instead of a shot. That's spot on. That is good banter right there. But it's like they have nothing on top. I felt like once they substituted Jesus, I was like, all right, I think we got a chance. And honestly, next season, if Arteta's still manager of Arsenal, they're gonna have to change the rules about protecting your goalkeeper. They're gonna have to change the rules for Premier League in terms of you can't keep crowding the goalkeeper because then what he's gonna do, he's just gonna keep jumping out and probably injure somebody in there. Like that's what it's asking for.
My God. Yeah. Yeah.
But then what's but then what but then what then it's a fine line between if he pushes another player and then it's a foul in the box and you give a penalty. Like what's the fine line?
Fine. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think like the goalkeeper's got, I think, got the right to push players out of him. Yeah, it's, I mean, no, it's not. I don't think I've ever seen a goalkeeper push a player and like they've been given a penalty. I think it's, like if everyone, you have to give Arsenal credit in how they do their set pieces, because if everyone could do what they did, like they would, right? Everyone would just crowd the goalkeeper and, they would try and score. Like Arsenal are very effective at doing it. It's just like their reliance on it is hilarious. I think that the tweet that I saw was wasn't it was something on Instagram, was Cunha is the worst, is like the worst player you want to see come on in the
You
second
called it.
half when your team is losing.
And
Like
that's
you do not want to see
what I was
Mateus
texting you
Cunha
during the
come
game is
on
like when
in
Brian
like the
looked like
second
he was
half when your
gassed
team
out,
is
just
losing,
put on Cunha for
because
shithousery
he will
and we got it.
dribble, he will
And
get the ball
like the
out,
tweet that I
he
sent
will
last week
win
too
free
of like,
kicks. And I said
big
it
team, Cunha
against
might be a
Anfield.
weapon off of
That's
the
what he
bench,
did, and
instead of a
those
starter for Man
attributes
United.
are so valuable away
It's
from home.
two
Right, you really
assists
you
and a
need that. It
goal,
breaks the play,
2 games on the
and
bench,
when
assists
that
and a goal
guy
coming on.
picks the corner,
I don't know. He looks
my God,
recharged. He looks like he's a man with
unreal,
intent when he comes on
unreal.
in the second half. Like, look, he's a Premier League player, but this is Manchester United. I will give him a little bit of a break of a transition
Yeah,
season. Let this be the transition season for him. Let it be a transition season for Sesko. Like, we're winning games, we're scoring goals. It's not like they're like do or die upon them as long as they contribute
yeah, no,
in their
absolutely.
own way. So it's good to see that they're contributing in their ways and helping the team win.
Yeah, I think, yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
absolutely, absolutely. I think Sesko, he really contributed in terms of his movement. He opened up the space for that Cunha
Right,
goal, and
because now
I
Patrick's
think
out.
Cunha definitely wants to start games. Like he's not, he's like Bruno, like he wants to be playing. And I think that tweak that Carrick did when putting Dorgu in, that felt like a Ferguson tweak, right? It's like, let me get someone that's pacey, that's naturally left-footed, gives me width going forward, but defensively will get in his position, right? So I think that's a really good tweak, and I'm hoping that I think Cunha's he's gonna start on the left now, like he has to, right? Yeah, Patrick's out. And I think that's yeah, I still think Cunha, Casemiro, and Bruno, they've got great, to find each other. And you had Kobe in there. Oh my God. Like against the low block, you're gonna need all those attributes. Sesko's gonna be big, man. Like he gives us a target to hit as well. So I think weapons wise, we're pretty decent, right? And we're not far off, man. Like, okay, yeah, it's been two
Mhm.
games, but we're looking at our midfield, and
And that's why
it's funny, isn't it?
and
Like
that's why I keep
we're
saying,
like, we
like, I
need
don't
two new
hate Kobe. I
midfielders.
want to
Kobe
be the
comes
best
back
out of
in.
him
We're like,
because, we
he's.
still
I was
need
so
2
impressed by
midfielders,
yesterday
but
because
then you get
I was like, yeah,
your
he played well,
spend your money on
and
the
then I heard a
6th, and then
stat
you can
saying
get his
he ran the
Kobe's
most, and
backup
I'm like,
to help him out.
that's what I want, right? Like we didn't see like too many like shimmies, swivels, but we saw him work and we saw him link in tight spaces. And that's what you need. That's what you need from.
Uh, you play with Manchester United. You play for Manchester United.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Like his I think the thing was like under Ruben, like you didn't like him like coming on, not doing too much. It's like he wasn't happy and he wasn't allowed to play with freedom. He's playing with freedom now, right? And he's doing his job defensively. And that's what you get with young players. Like
Where?
even
Mhm,
but like you don't like what I think you like Ruben put him in a box, right? He put him in a box the same way he put Bruno in a box, right? And I think that's just something he got wrong. Like it's so telling now because you're putting it's like you said, Bruno's now a circle being put in a circle, right? And like Kobe's in I think he just Ruben didn't do himself any favors when he was like, Kobe can't play with Cass. Kobe is Bruno's understudy. And we're just like, well, we've seen Bruno and Kobe play and we've seen all these things. So, yeah, the other thing is Kobe's still young, man. Like, he's going to make mistakes. And he did. He gave the ball away a couple of times here and there. And that's fine, right? The same with Dorgu. Like, he made
mhm.
mistakes, and the same with the goalkeeper. With these younger players, they're going to make mistakes, but like, they're going to come out of it. Same with like Heaven, man. We saw him make a
A
couple of
hundred
he
million,
came off
hundred
substitute
million dollar
halftime and
man,
against Newcastle,
because he
player of
did
the match.
nutmeg him for
So yeah,
the
I just think with like the younger players, yeah, you just gotta like, give them grace. But I think it's the hardest thing to be
Mhm.
a academy graduate as a midfielder.
So we're going to jump right into this to the clips. As always, our clips are provided by Y Scout. We partner up with them, and Ollie's going to break down one Arsenal goal, and because we're not doing a corner kick FC here, set piece FC. We ain't about that life. So we'll break down the open play goals.
This is the opening goal, Arsenal score. I'm gonna run the clip. So you can see here that we're actually in a back five, and we got three in the midfield, and Zembumo and Ahmad. Normally, it's Zembumo and Bruno that were pressing at the top. So a 5-3-2. Ball comes out, running into space, and when this gets delivered, Dorgu defends as well. And I really like the fact that we have this 2-on-1 for Saka. Dorgu did that all game, but Odegaard, that's way too much space. Is that Bruno's man? You could say that, kind of highlighting Bruno's lack of defensive ability. And it comes off Martinez's back heel. Yes, it's unfortunate that that's what happened, but I really like the fact that we had that 2-on-1 situation with Saka, and he puts in a decent ball with Odegaard, and Odegaard just kind of scuffs it. It goes off, Martinez's heel, and they Arsenal score from that, and it's a good thing that they did score because as soon as they scored, they went to imposter syndrome mode, and started getting really anxious. But yeah, that was just a breakdown, the first goal. What are your thoughts on that?
I know you're thinking it's Bruno's ball, but also I feel like again Shaw and Menu, it's just a defensive gap of not closing down the ball quickly enough.
Where?
So Saka draws both Dorgu and Casemiro out. Ball gets played to Odegaard, but I feel like they were a little bit tad bit too slow in terms of closing him down. Luke Shaw makes an effort, but I think Manu could have done a little bit more till he's blocked the shot. But we've seen this consistently over and over again of like there's always going to be a defensive gap in the box where our defenders are getting dragged out and it leaves one or two of the opposition players open in the box to make a play like that. Like this is not net new or anything like that. This has been a common MO of Manchester United defending since God knows, since Ten Hag days.
Yeah, I think yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah, a bit, it could be a bit more intense, but I think they actually put him off because he scuffs it. Odegaard is not wanting to do that. He kind of scuffs it and it goes in. So yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Arsenal's
MO.
second or third top goal scorer, the own goal. Yeah, kind of tragic. Yeah. So this is an opportunity we have. And as you can see, we have one, two, three, four, five players in that midfield and Bumo up top. Mainu's on the ball. This is why I was saying Mainu has that flexibility to play as a deeper role, and then Casemiro's further up. And if you see that, I've circled Dallo because he's inverting here a little bit, and he actually just drops back, right? So I like the fluidity and the interchange of positions here. So Mainu has the ball. He's got, a lot of options forward. Dorgu and Ahmad, their role is to bring the width to the team and to go down to the line. So that's why those arrows are there. I'm gonna roll the clip. And Mainu, he's gonna whack this pass into Mbumo. And you can see we got again those five across the top of the pitch. And he's now just gonna pull away and he's thinking with a more defensive mind. And the easy pass for Mainu would be Dallo, right? But Mainu, he's been told by Carrick he can, express himself, be brave, have courage, and he hits this straight into Mbumo. And Mbumo, he's plays this straight first time into Bruno. What I love about that pass from Mainu is I've done the zigzag here because it's taken out that entire Arsenal midfield. And now it's to your striker facing this back four. And Bruno's been doing this a lot under Carrick. It's first time pass into Bruno or anybody around him. And what that does is it means that the back four is going to struggle to get set. I'm gonna roll this on, and yeah, it gets hit to Bruno, and Saliba's kind of sleeping, and he actually does do a great last ditch challenge to put Bruno off. But yeah, I really enjoyed that clip. Thoughts?
No, excellent analysis. Yeah, so I thought this was a great draw from you, great analysis. Yeah, I like that 1-2 touch coming out of Brian to Bruno. And this is just about like the mentality we talked about this Arsenal team. It's like, guys, you're just trying to win the league, but there's no reason for you to have like a defensive lapse like that, just sleeping behind the wheel. Like I know you're right. Saliba does come to make a great recovery, but that ball should have just been like blocked out, or at least gone to make a much more tighter coverage on Bruno. But
Yeah,
great play.
yeah. Saliba was definitely sleeping, but
Hmm.
I like this from Mainu. This is what I want to see, man. Like
Just drawing
to
in.
yeah, that pass that just completely eliminates Arsenal's midfield.
Hmm.
And and Bumo, he's a seasoned Prem player, so he knows the importance of playing a first time ball off his right foot as well. So this is our goal and comes from an Arsenal mistake, as we all know. And again, we're doing the 4-4-2 press here. Four midfield, two up top. Ball gets to Declan Rice. And what I really like is again, Ahmad and Dorgu, they're out there on the wings, and we got Kobe and Cass monitoring their two midfielders. So slight man to man, and the press is just working well. Here, this is about if you want to be risky and progressive. Zubimendi, he can play that into Rice, right? Play that into space. He is aware of Dorgu and Cass, but he plays the safe option to Saliba. And then this kind of invites more pressure. And you can see Ahmad's now jumped. He's like, okay, I'm ready to pounce. Cass, front foot, press. Dorgu the same. Mainu's still with his man. And as much as you can say this is a Zubimendi mistake, this is also great press from United, and we get the just rewards for it. That's everyone being in sync, and I think we're just also highlighting how Arsenal, if you play with a bit more bravery, like here, Zubimendi, Rice is pointing to where he wants it. But they're gonna play safe, they're gonna play within their zones, they don't want to give anything away. And the pressure was kind of building from that point. So and they suffered with that. And then Bumo, really, really great finish because I really like how he took it onto his weaker foot, if we can call it his weaker foot, change the angle because he could have slipped back to Bruno, but and Bruno's not like that. And Bruno's like, okay, I'm gonna take responsibility here at the Emirates. I've scored against Liverpool, I've scored against City, I've scored against all the top teams. Let me get Arsenal. Man like him booms. What are you saying, man?
Great man-to-man press, 4-4-2. When we get to the stats, it shows that we have still dipped off on an actual like true quote-unquote press. And I heard some of the commentators like this was just like a half-ass press from Bruno and Brian up top. Like it was like they're trying to give Zubimendi the credit. Like it was just a bad pass, bad bounce to him. But you have to be in those right positions to pounce, and we were there. And this is why we spent 70 million quid on Brian, because that's a clinical finish, and he's one of our clinical goal scorers. So boom, we're back into the game. So total United goal here.
Absolutely.
And also one other thing too is that I've talked about this in the past that if we can pin teams in the back and do the press, we can turn over and score goals. Mount has scored a couple of goals like this where he pressed, they got the ball back, he scores, or other teams or some other players have scored. So this is just like I call this as a kill zone. Like if we can get this down pack and start turning down goals, we can, pick up goals and win more. And this is what I kind of want to see as like a quote unquote modern United team of like what the top clubs do about pressing and making turnovers and scoring on those opportunities and chances. And this is it. And this is something changing under Ruben and something continuing under Carrick. And I like this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We're not like known as, a pressing team. Um, and I think there's negatives in that, but there's also huge potential. So, it'll be good to get that. But I think some teams get too obsessed with pressing. And I think, we are quite solid when we get back there. So it's just about finding a balance.
Mhm.
This is Ballon Dorgu's goal. Cass conducting play, and Martinez. Look, simple pass is down there on the side. You can pass that down to Luke Shaw, or be brave, be courageous, and play that into Patrick Dorgu with four other Arsenal players, right? You got Bruno and Patrick against those four players. Blast it into Dorgu. And again, it's 4-on-2 here. But this is the United way, playing progressively in short spaces and being brave. Pat, bro, it's going so well. Dude, what happened? Bruno Dorgu. And, Dorgu, when he hits this back to Bruno, he knows where he wants to run. He wants to draw Declan Rice out so he can run into that space. That's the area to hit. That's where the space is, right in front of the back four with no protection. Bruno plays it into Dorgu and touch. Dorgu is around five Arsenal players. There are five Arsenal players come to press him. Yet, Ballon Dorgu still finds his way. No handball. Arteta, get out of here. What a hit. I couldn't believe it, man. This strike was unreal. This is this is Gareth Dorgu, Ballon Dorgu. What a hit. And even to get to that point, drawing in all those Arsenal players, playing with bravery, playing with courage at the Emirates. That's how we do it, man. Come on, United.
And as Patrick Dorgu's Instagram caption says, in those positions, you gotta smash it. And what he did, he smashed it. But no, very tight play, 1-2 touch, get forward. Like if yes, we're making no big deal about United DNA, 1-2 touch, progress the ball forward and smash. Well, that's 2008 type of goal right there.
Absolutely, man. What a hit, man. Unreal. Unreal scenes.
Scenes indeed.
This is a goal kick out, and at this point, Sesko's in the game. And do not underestimate that touch, right? That touch from Sesko. And I really want you to look at Mainu here. I think that's Marino, right? Marino's a much bigger guy than Mainu, but Mainu, he's been putting out work in the gym, whilst Ruben's been putting him on the sideline. Mainu is free. He just knocks Marino off the ball here, and that sets the mood. And again, this is what I went back to. The easy ball is to Bruno on the wing, but he plays the incisive ball into Cunha because he can turn and move. That's playing with courage. That's playing with vision, instinct. That's what Kobe brings you outside of the ball as well. And this movement from Sesko, great. This is really intelligent play. You've even got Ahmad there on the top of your screen. It's gonna allow Cunha to drive into this space. And we all know, Cunha likes to drive into space. Sesko takes away the defenders. That's the space he wants to attack. And if you give a man like Cunha space outside the box to shoot, and this guy picks a corner, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. I don't care if you're unbeaten at home at the Emirates. You man are in trouble. 3-2. Suck your mother.
You hear that, O? You hear that?
Golazo.
Right there, bro. He's been talking about it all season. Pick a corner. He got his corner. He hit it. And mind you, these are three players in that play: goalkeeper, striker, and your left number 10, all brought in the summer. There you go.
And your
All
midfielder that has been freed, Andy. He's been freed.
the chains have been freed from Kobe to make that pass to send what's his name back to West Ham.
Yeah, this like to I'm not seeing like mate, he completely out muscles Marino here. He's got his arm there. He's got his
Mm-hmm.
arm there. Oh, get off me, right? Gets the ball back. Okay, Rice, watch this. Woohoo. Look at that. Let's go. This movement is so underrated, man. Like he's occupying Gabriel and Saliba,
Mm-hmm.
leaving that space, and then Cunha, he just uses Gabriel,
As a
to
screen.
yeah, screen blocks the keeper. Wow, what a goal, man.
And we make the Emirates a dance floor again. We didn't Millie Rock, but we got some of that Brazilian salsa.
Surf. That's the Brazilian surfboarding right there, man. What
Yeah.
unreal.
Boom. Boom. And of course, he said, it's effing me again. To the cameras. No, I'll top down a notch. And again, I'm going to die on this hill. No matter whatever we want to say about Ineos, let's just give them props on the players that they're bringing in. Let's give them props about the goalkeeper, the striker, now Cunha, about this. This is just like your recruitment at work. And yes, as Ali has said, Carrington's own is freed from the chains of the Portuguese. That now he can go and muscle out and show the world why he should be Manchester United's number 8, box to
Exactly.
box,
Box to box. Baller, man.
doing what he does best. But boom. Yes, I brought the house down here. This brought down the waist section. And guess what? We got 3 points.
Yes, sir.
3 points. Not the title game. The title is wide open. You never know. Yeah, my prediction at the beginning of the season might still come to fruition. So, boom. All right. Thank you,
Oh,
Ali, for the breaking down the stats. Now, I mean, the stats, the clips with the drawings. Great analysis as always. You know, we're heading in the right direction here. That's right. We're both wearing black to celebrate our win.
yeah, man. Come on. All black.
All black, we just gotta run it back. So yeah, now we're just gonna go in and break down the stats and then hopefully get into what can we see from the Fulham match. So thanks. Great insight, Ali, for with regards to the back five. Now just moving up as part of our, with showing the stats. So yeah, we could see here in terms of the positional map. We had the five there. He had the three across with Kobe in the middle, Dorgu and Ahmad on wide, and then Bruno and Brian on top. Straightforward. I kind of find it funny that when we actually look at the positional map throughout the different phases of the game and different when substitutions, etc., we were in like a 4-1-1 throughout most of the game until Halal member Nasrawi back from AFCON comes on and we did a back five for the last like 10 minutes of the game to close it out. But by far fair for the game. As here we see the XG, and guess what? We outmuscle United. I'm sorry, outmuscled Arsenal with the XG there. And the thing that we were talking before about during the clip with Brian's goal in terms of the man-to-man press, the pressing intensity, again, I'm still not going to be like, this is just an indicator of where Carrick is going because we did face the top two teams in all of the land. They're going to have most of the ball. We're not really going to be quote unquote pressing them. So here we have them at 14 passes before we press. Arsenal's a little bit better than that, especially in the second half when they're chasing the game. I just feel like let's see how if this number goes down when we face Fulham, but it just shows that we have taken off the pressing compared to Ruben, having the team play their ball, and we'll see from there if that continues. But that's a good indication there. Another stat I like to show that's pretty good: attack by flanks. I think maybe because last game against City, we were pretty much even throughout the attacking flanks and XG. That was like a more complete balance. Attacking this game, we went thread through the middle. So it's kind of interesting to see Carrick's flexibility in the system with regards to, instead of going out wide, playing in the middle, cutting up the middle. We saw that with the clips of how the easier pass could have been out wide, but the more dangerous and progressive pass tends to be through the middle. And we kind of saw that with the attacking through the middle and then through the XG. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think definitely to play through the middle, you got to be a lot more intricate in your build up, and I think Mainu and Fernandez and even Cass they were passing through the lines, and I really like how when the ball gets to Martinez, there's movement. Like if it's Dallo breaking like the last bit, like they know he can hit that pass. I would expect, maybe against Fulham or something, like I wouldn't be surprised if, Martinez hits one over the top or through the middle. And it's just really nice to see your midfielders breaking through the
Yeah.
lines and playing with courage
And you
and
see with the
bravery.
passes, like they can have more of
Because
the ball
that's all you
and we
can
have
ask
less of
for.
the
Like
ball, but
I would
the
rather a
percentages are
player
fine margins
in a
as,
specific
we
moment, right?
won
You
three
gotta
two.
obviously know when to play and when
So
not to
basically
play.
those are just
And that just
the
shows you,
main
the
stats that I
level of
like to
IQ that you
review and go
have.
over,
And
just
I'd
because it
rather
just gives a
see
sense of
someone trying to
where
be
we
brave
sit
than someone trying to
tactically
be
and
safe
what are we doing in
with
terms
the
of the
right
game
context.
plan. So
So playing through the
shout
middle,
out to Carrick
yeah,
of trying to
it's
fix the
the best
midfield
way we
mess
hurt Arsenal
that we have. I
for
think
sure.
he finally. I think this might be the formation. I think this might be the combination that works of Cass, Kobe, and Bruno.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's dependent on the two wide players, right? I think Ahmad's got that position now. I think what's going to be interesting is what you're going to do up top, right? Are you going to bring Sesko in, put Cunha left, right? And Cunha's going to have to work hard as well. And then you've also got Mount. You got Mount. You got if you want to go for more of a press, you put Mount. And I think the thing about Mount is I don't think he's the. I think he's a better. I think he's better suited to a Ruben system, right? Like the 4-2-3-1. It's like the best way to describe it is Bruno can play in a 4-2-3-1 as a number 10, but I think Mount is better suited as a left or right number 10
Just yeah,
in a 3-4-3, right? I think he's better suited there. I don't think he's better suited as your central number 10. That's just my like how I see what Mount is like. And then when he's on the wing, he's just not the same player. He'll give you everything, right? He's gonna press, he's gonna do all these things, but with the way Cunha and Dorgu have been playing, that's quite hard to overtake that. And Ahmad's been just as good offensively as he is defensively. He's probably been better defensively under Carrick, right? He's been really impressive doubling up and making sure he's back in his right position. So yeah, you got the whole Mount thing. So I personally would like to see Sesko start because he just gives you a completely different element.
if it's not broken, why fix it?
And for a
I think
low
that's
block,
that's
you
gonna
need
be
you
the
need to
mentality. If
have
it's not broken, why
that
fix it?
aerial. You need something to play into, and then occupy the
I
defenders, and
I
then
I
Bruno
understand it, but I
or
feel like you still
Ahmad
have
or
the same
Mbumo,
personnel who can do the same
they
thing of going the
can
attacking
pick
foot.
up the
You know what I'm saying?
spaces
Like you
that's
can
been left
put
when the centre backs are
Cunha,
occupying Sesko.
replace him for Dogu
Do I
since
think
now he's
Carrick will do
injured,
that? I have no idea.
right?
I have no
And you can
idea.
still have
What do you think Carrick's gonna do?
M booms on top, and they can still just be, instead of they can
But
still go out
but
and
but
and
but it's a
put on
different way of playing though.
a
Like
forward
you
foot.
got a different.
I don't think they
We're
can.
not
I
going to be
think they
sitting
can
back,
still
so it's
do
not
balls over the top
like
or thread
you
balls
get what I'm
through
saying?
defenders and still kind of get into the little block. I understand what you're saying with Sesko, right? Because how Ruben tried to break down the low block when we went through that like 3-game winning streak was go long, have him knock it down, win the second balls, and then count and then hit the 1-2 passes, and you have a break. And hopefully you score a goal there. I don't know if that's what Carrick wants to do. We shall see. I feel like he just bring in Cunha right now
Yeah.
for Patrick now that he's injured. and leave Brian on top. And then I think that because of AFCON and stuff, because Brian did look burnt out in December before he went to Africa. And I think he's still trying to get his feels and get his legs back. So I don't even think he can do like a full 90 minutes anyway. I think a 60 to 75 minutes is a good amount, and you get Sesko on it. Because I think at this point of the season, would I like to see Sesko, start and play? Yes. But I think where we are right now and what's working, I feel like, again, this should be like his quote unquote transition season. Let him get his legs underneath and stuff. Let him get a fist of accustomed to everything. Like, shouldn't put him out there since Brian can do the job and we are scoring winning games like that. That just take the pressure off of him, let it get his legs in, do the stuff. And then once we get Europe next season, get more games, where we have to rotate, etc., you can accumulate more there. Right.
Yeah, I definitely get your point of, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I think, yeah, it's gonna be a different proposition. And I also think Sesko on the bench is a different game plan, right? If we're not able to break Fulham down or we're not able to press them, I think the press, if you don't have Sesko, I feel like Bruno and Mbumo, that press is good. Right? Cunha, I think he will do a good job.
Because
I
another
think
option too
defensively he's
is
not going
that
to do
you
a great
keep
job, but
Cunha
we're going
as
to
the
have the
super sub,
most of the ball.
right? And you
Well,
bring out
you're
Mount
going to keep Ahmad out there. You're going to
and
keep
you
the
have
two
Bruno on the
midfield out there.
left
So yeah,
in the Patrick
same
space and have him
team.
in
Have Cunha on the
coming in
left.
as an inside forward
Sesko can
and have Mount play as a
come
10th,
off the
linking up
bench
the
and give
play and
you a
kicking the
completely
ball and
different
spreading it
option.
out.
Yeah, I just wonder if he's going to tweak something just because we are going to play, more of a low block. So really intrigued to see what we're going to do there. Yeah.
On the wing,
No, I don't. Sorry, man. There's levels to this. Bruno is the best number 10 in the Prem. He is, man. Like, there's just yeah, he's incredible. Like Mount, I just wouldn't play him over Bruno. I would, yeah. I
here it
actually
comes.
prefer. I was gonna say I might even prefer Mainu in the number 10 in a 4-2-3-1. I think I prefer Mainu in that because I think Mainu, he's more of a link man, and I think
Bruno almost tried to
Mount
kill
just
them.
gives you more
Yes.
energy. I don't see Mount as having that final vision in his passing. I don't see that. But yeah, you can't. The one person that's untouchable in this team is Bruno's a number 10. And the other thing on that is Sesko, he was on a scoring streak under Fletcher. And he was linking with Bruno. Coming out of the derby, and then he does well when he comes on against Arsenal.
Right.
Not instantly, because I think he's got hit
He could
in
play
the
the left.
face. But
He
like,
could play the left.
but it's just like
Uh,
him and Bruno linking up, Sesko and Bruno, that like they can link up. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how Carrick sets up, and um, yeah, like how he's going to break that, and yeah, I'm in between whether to start Sesko, because then the other thing, you're gonna have to move Mbumo. I don't know where you're gonna move him,
very nice. And hopefully we come out
because
with 3 points and
then
continue
you're
our
gonna put
quote
I,
unquote
you well
unofficial,
you
official
could
on a
play Mbumo right and then play Ahmad left,
title
and then you've still
challenge.
got that natural left winger on the left, or
With
you
how
could
many
put
games to
Mbumo
go?
left, right? So
We're not
and I think I yeah,
15 games
it's
to
nice
go,
to have these
12
options,
games
right? It's
left.
really nice,
Sorry, 12,
and I think
12 points. Sorry, 12 points
we
back,
still have
15
depth with
games
Mount
left to
on the
go.
bench,
We're not at the
you
1-to-1
know.
yet. There's
So
still plenty of
it's a really
time.
nice position to be in.
You never know. Yeah. The kid needs a haircut anyway.
Oh, challenge. 12 points
The
behind,
kid needs a
man.
haircut anyway, so he's like 3 games more. But
One
yeah,
game a week,
hopefully it happens against Sunday. But again, Ollie, it was a pleasure breaking down
and
everything,
we've
having this discussion. So again, if you're new to this channel, like, subscribe, give us a comment. We are seeing all your comments on TikTok. You know, we're seeing all the comments on YouTube. We're
we would have
enjoying
to
them. We're
win
trying to engage
every
with you guys.
single game.
But let us know what
Which,
we can do
I
better and
mean,
stuff.
listen, man, we've beaten
We are
the two
here.
best
We're here
teams
to
in the
provide
league,
you no
right?
well, I have an
So,
agenda against Kobe, so
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
co
yeah, yeah.
I don't have
Hopefully he
an
gets
agenda,
back.
I'm just saying. I've been accused. Yeah, I know, it's quite funny, though, that's why. It's funny to just be like, "I have an agenda." Better be at this point. But yeah, I want him to be better, man. I just gotta feel I want
Oh, you still have an agenda? You still have an agenda? Well, you keep bringing it up.
Because he's the teacher's pet, and the teacher ain't here anymore.
It's funny to have an agenda against a 21-year-old. Future of Manchester United's midfield.
The chains have been shackled off.
Dude, you're
They're
so
not
harsh on
being
him, man.
robotic in terms of you must be in this quote unquote position.
What more do you want? What more do you want? He just gave two enormous performances against the best two teams
Hmm.
in the league, and your boy Mount is on the bench. Yeah, your boy Mount is on the bench. Yeah, good riddance to that teacher, man. Look at the freedom that they're playing with, man. Exactly. Yeah, but I still think some of the foundations that Carrick is using, Ruben has, built. And I think it's more so I think the biggest influence is
Hmm.
actually Dorgu and Ahmad. Like, if you can get a player who's just naturally better attacking,
It's
you
just
get
the
them to
buy-in.
work
You just
hard
have to get the players to
defensively,
buy it in.
they're gonna be good players. Like look at Saka, look at Salah in his prime, look at Mane, like all these wide players that are just naturally so fluent going forward. They start working hard
Hmm.
defensively. The whole squad is better because you're helping your midfield or gonna be in a strong position. You can go to a back six or a back five. It's a game changer once you get intensity and work rate from your players.
Well, he did learn from the best. He did learn
And these
from
players
Jose
buy into Carrick,
as
right?
from a
It's been like
and
2 weeks, and
well,
they
you know,
bought
as
into
from his coaching
Carrick's
badges like
philosophy.
Jose,
If you
then
can call it
Sir
philosophy,
Alex,
a lot
Van Hall,
easier than
etc.
Ruben
But
has.
listen,
And I
but
think
Jose
that
was the one who gave him the spot on the team because
Carrick
he was
does
like,
like he just
I
adds
mean,
like a
on the
level of
bench. He's like, once
calmness,
you retire, you
right?
have a place
And I think people
on
just
my
underrate Carrick. They've
seat at the
underrated
table,
his
and look what
career,
it's done.
his footballing ability. Like this guy, come on, man, he's played.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, oh right,
Shambles. They look like the students teaching the teacher.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
It is what it is. But yes, United face Fulham
Yeah,
on Sunday, the afternoon game. Hopefully, we come out with 3 points at Old Trafford. And we'll see how
yeah.
this is go. Because, like
No,
we said,
absolutely.
the true
And
test is against the
that's
low block.
two
We've struggled with
two
the low
wins
block since
against
God knows
Arteta,
when.
man.
Let's see
Against
what
his,
Carrick can do, and if
his
we can
mid
start
team
making
and
these
his super
beating
team.
the low block, watch out. So, anyways, we will have our review after the Fulham match. It was a pleasure talking to you again, Ali,
What it
and
is,
the
man.
analysis, and we'll talk to everyone on the other side.
Peace, guys.